Imagine yourself in an anime world, in a world of adventure, in the world of mythical proportions, in a world where you meet a beautiful girl and you go on these different type of anime quests with her. You go on these different type of anime quests and adventures with her, with this beautiful girl that you meet in this other dimension. And you have the power, you have the ability, the viability to protect her. She's beautiful. You guys are in your youth. You have magical powers. You're defeating strong monsters and minions of evil. And you go around and you become a hero and a legend, and you marry her, you have children, and you live life happily ever after, and you pass away. And then for some reason you find yourself in this realm. So you went to hell when you passed away. But those little anime adventures that we imagine, it's it's like a fantasy. It's like a dream away. Yet there's people in this reality that are kind of living that. There's people in this reality that they seen the girl that they wanted. They looked at her. She was beautiful, cute face, slim waist. Nice behind on her. She knows how to dress. She's clean, good hygiene, the whole shebang. Similar interests and hobbies. She's easy to talk to. Even when you run out of things to say, she still talks. And keeps the conversation alive. Pretty much a perfect girl for you. And there's men out there that see a girl like that and they're able to get them. They're able to get those girls and be happy and get even more girls than that. They get multiple women. Then there's guys out there that are grown men that can't even get a girl. They can't even get a date. Some men never been on a date, not even once in their lives. You understand? Some men have never engaged in sexual alleviation with a female, and they're adults, and it affects their psychology, it affects their mind, it affects their confidence, it affects their accomplishments, it affects everything. And this world, it kind of acts like that doesn't matter. A lot of men are mentally ill and destroyed because they've never had a strong relationship with a female. Never, not once in life. You know, and there's some men that did have that and they were broken, and then they realized female nature. But for guys like us in this position, a lot of us, due to economics, due to how we look like, we were never able to attract females that liked us or females that we liked. You know, every female that we liked didn't want nothing to do with us. And that has a toll on you psychologically, especially as a man, when you got to go through these different layers of life and you're supposed to expand as a man. Like at a man, at age 15, you're supposed to have this. At age 25, you're supposed to have this. At age 30, you're supposed to have this. At age 35, you're supposed to have this. At age 40, you're supposed to have this. Like there's different steps in your life as a man that you're supposed to have things together. And when you're past these age milestones, and these milestones are artificially created, by the way, to add pressure and get loose from you by the demiurge. If you don't meet the demands of society, if you don't meet what fits to the social paradigms of society, you're ostracized and you're pretty much thrown to the wolves. And especially if a person my skin color configuration, because men in my skin color configuration don't really open up. We're not really known to open up and be, emotionally available. And don't listen to what females say. There's a reason why a lot of us come on here and we just talk about certain things in our life, because we don't have nowhere else to go, right? And if you have a girlfriend or if you have anybody, a female in your real life, and you tell her all your problems, she's going to think you're a pushover. She's going to think you're weak and not respect you. She may not say it to your face outright, but she's going to secretly tell her friends, her girlfriends, girl, he's weak, blah, 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 girl, this, that, he said he told me he hasn't had sex in 7 years. Girl, what? Blah, 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 blah. They start laughing behind your back. Then they start disrespecting you in your face. And then you notice something's off. Before, when they thought you were a man that, maybe you didn't get that much women, but they thought you got laid every now and then. But now they know you haven't got laid in several years. They're going to treat you with disrespect and contempt. That's one of the things about being a guy in this position. If you're somebody that's not getting promiscuous with women frequently, then people look down upon you. Like, it's so weird, right? Because you would think that accomplishing things and being successful would be the higher prioritization. But in this society, you have people that just got out of prison, or hell, they're in prison, and they'll have women that want to form relationships with them. Meanwhile, there's a guy out there with his college degree, he got a car, he got his own apartment, he got this, he got his stuff together, and then women totally ignore him. It's like, why would you ignore a guy who's stabilized? It makes no sense. It's just, it's all very demiurgic behavior. It's like something the demiurge would do. It's just to cause chaos just for the sake of causing chaos. No other reason but just to do it. Just to do it. You know? And a lot of us, man, we've been alone for a very long time, and we've wanted to have somebody in our lives. We wanted to have a girlfriend. We wanted to have these adventures with these beautiful women, travel around the world, travel around anywhere with these pretty girls, just to be in their presence, to lay your head down in her lap, to have her sit on your lap, you know, I truly regret wasting my youth by not trying my hardest to try to find a good girl when I still had a chance. I regret that. So all you guys that are in college now, that's going to be your last time to be around a bunch of females when they're in their prime ages, when they're in college, when they're studying for their PhDs, when they're getting their secret science degrees, when they're doing that. That's when these women are their most freakiest, and that's when you're able to actually engage in some sexual alleviation if you get lucky. But the problem is you got guys out there that, even though they're surrounded by that, the girls are not choosing them. I remember there was a time in my life where I really thought that I was going to be somebody great, and I was going to get the girl that I really wanted. And there's this girl, and she's married now, of course. There's been a few muses in my life. A muse, MUSE is called a muse. There's been a few muses in my life, and all of these females are married now. They're married with children, some of them. And I'm just like, damn. And here I am in this position, trapped, spiritually defeated, mentally fatigued, emotionally stressed and depressed, economically deprived. Like, I wish I had some bread right now, but I got to carry on, and I got to be strong, and I got to keep making these videos for people that are going through it, because these are the type of videos that I would want it when I was 20 years old. To hear somebody a little older than me tell me how it is, their daily audio log about this hellish prison realm world that we find ourselves in. And young men, understand this. Society will try to put you into a box, and your family, they may try to see you one way. They may try to put you into a box. They may say that, oh, you're only capable of doing this, that, or the third. And there's certain people in your family that they think they're above you. They think they're greater than you. They think that they're better than you, and they think this because you are a person that sat in your room all day and you don't really have that much accomplishments, open accomplishments. These people, they have regular jobs. They drive for Uber, they drive for DoorDash, they work at, Kmart, Walmart, and they think they're better than you because they have a regular 9 to 5. And these people absolutely despise you. Young men, you have to watch out for that. When you're writing your book, when you're working on your music, when you're creating your art, and you're building your business, and you're getting your LLC, your limited liability corporation, integrated and established, and you're gaining your funding, you're investing in different assets that appreciate in value, you're even accumulating and retaining digital assets, and You're increasing your wealth and your money. And when you get wealthy, all of a sudden, they're going to look at you like, damn, how did he do it? Right? Or they may try to watch your rise. They may try to find your YouTube channel and then parasite and watch every video that you do and send like negative attention towards you. You know, like you can have somebody that's like watching you, but they're watching you like a crazy animal watches its prey. You know, like wild fox watches a chicken or something. You know, and these are your so-called family members, and they're only watching you because they're praying for your downfall. You know, they want to see how successful you are compared to them. They don't like you, so they claim, but they're watching everything that you do. Meanwhile, you say you don't like them, you don't want nothing to do with them, and you don't check about what they're doing. You don't care about what they're saying about you because you just don't care. It's just something that's beneath you. You know, it's just something that's it's not even something that you even entertain because it's foolishness. You know, you can't go into a circus and beat a bunch of clowns if you never put makeup on your face. They're going to beat you from experience, you know, because they're clowns. They're in a circus. They're going to beat you. They're going to jump through the fire hoops. They're going to do the loops. They're going to clown around. They're going to, you know, joke and think everything's a laughing matter, you know. Stay away from those people, young man. Stay away from anybody that doesn't appreciate your presence. Stay away from anybody that doesn't appreciate you. I don't care if you knew this person for 20 years, 10 years, or 15 years. If they don't respect you, if they don't like you, if every time you're down and out and they don't even try to help you, even though they can help you, and there was times when they were down and out and you helped them, but now you're down and out and they're not helping you, that shows you everything, especially when they have it. It's one thing if you know they don't have it and they're in a very bad position, they're in a poverty position, and they can't really help themselves. That's one thing. But it's another thing when that person gains money or gains something, you know, and then they try to, let's say they get a better job than you, and then they try to like look down upon you. But just a week ago, you both were sitting in your house playing Fortnite or playing Call of Duty or Battlefield. Now he got a better job than you, and now he tries to lord over you as if he's a ruler or a commander. I can't stand people like that. That's like a traitor to me. I never like traitors. You know, like if you're gonna be real, be real. You know, stop all this deception. Stop utilizing and integrating deception as a weapon. I just can't stand deceitful people. And you got to understand this, young man. If somebody's not being real with you, especially if it pertains to business or pertains to just anything in life, you got to question it. Question anything that's not real. Question why a government has billions of dollars, yet they can't feed the poor. Like Tupac said, they got money for wars but can't feed the poor. You have to question that. Question why this YouTuber that you like says real crap all the time, yet his videos never ever get a large audience. You have to question that. You have to question why does this YouTuber over here, you know, a Polly Wally or whoever, how come this person gets hundreds of thousands of views and then you hear their message and it's just pretty much blue pill normie talk, and it's like, okay, so YouTube has a preference. If you talk, excuse me, if you talk real shit on YouTube, you get censored. If you talk real shit, that's just a preference on YouTube. If you talk real crap and you expose the evil system for real, then you know YouTube may not put your videos into the right eyes. You know, right? But if you kind of play the game and you have more positive channel, hey guys, you can do anything you want, guys. It's not over. Hey, if you're 40 years old, man, you know you can still achieve. If you're 35, oh yeah, a man's life just begins at 35, guys. Come on, you know. Oh, you're a 29-year-old virgin. That doesn't mean anything, guys. You can do anything you want. You guys who live this life, you guys who really understand life, would be like, that's not real. That's not my reality. That's fake. And you can easily spot fake. That's why I've always been real. And that's why people relate to me, because they're like, damn, that's real, because that's exactly what I'm going through, because this is real. You know, this is real life, man. That's how you can tell who's the real. The real never get the audience. You never get the fame, you know. Like, you get all the negative attention, but you never get the real positive attention. Like the 20,000 subscribers, the 100,000 subscribers, you know, doing YouTube full time, where you can get a small apartment and even maybe a car. So you make about $7,000 off of YouTube a month or something like that. Like people like us in this position will never ever be able to do like that, because the demiurge is going to make sure that, you know, the powers that be cut our views, or the powers that be make sure Not enough people will hear our voice, or make sure the wrong people hear your voice that are just parasites, you know? And the demiurge do this on purpose. I used to always wonder why certain people had a better life. And then I understood that a lot of people are tools and NPCs being used by the demiurge. And if they do the will of the demiurge will reward them. He may not give them all the riches, but he'll give them a relatively peaceful life where they're not going to go through much, but you're going to have to pay for that in the afterlife. Because everything the demiurge gives you, he's going to ask for something back in the afterlife and even in this life. It's like doing a deal with the devil. You're not going to just sell your soul and sign your soul away and get $1 million and just walk away scot-free. No, there's different dimensions and realities, which means when your soul passes away, you don't know what reality or what dimension your soul may end up to, due to the stipulations integrated into the contract, due to contractual stipulations. Because certain demonic contractual stipulations, they may require some evil deeds in another dimension. That's all I'll say. What a weird world we live in, What a strange world. What an evil world. What a brutal world, Just, it's something that's, I don't know who or what would have the mind to create this, Hold on, give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second real quick. Yeah. So, whatever made this world, it had to have evil in its heart. I mean, look at what we have to do to survive, just to get food, just to get water. Look at what you have to go through to get money. Look at the humiliation. Look at the degradation. Look at the psychological things you have to go through. You're a man, a full-grown man, working at a job that you don't like, and you have to work maybe 2 jobs. You don't have nobody to talk to. Your family doesn't like you. You don't even like yourself. You're insecure. You have deep emotional and psychological problems inside your soul and your spirit. You need healing. You need a woman that loves you. You need a woman. Damn it. You need a girl to come into your life that's pretty. I said it. A lot of us, that's what we need. We need a pretty girl. I said it. Damn it. I don't give a fuck. We need a pretty girl to come into our lives that we can look at and say, damn, she's beautiful. And her beauty and her loveliness and kindness will heal us, just like in an anime. But you can only find a pretty girl that likes a guy like us in an anime. That's why you can never find it in real life. And if you find it in real life, it's some type of rich kid or some type of guy who got lucky. You don't know what the situation could be. She could be an escort as well, You see plenty of that going on, So you just never know, man. But honestly, a lot of us, we just need another chance at life. I wish life had a reset button. I wish we could press a button and then instantaneously we can go back into a time of life where everything was good. Everything was pure. Everything was happy. Everything made sense. Everything wasn't so disillusioned. Everything wasn't so degraded. Everything wasn't so just annihilated in tiny pieces and then swallowed up by the void as life is right now. Life is hard right now, man. Life is brutal. That's why I don't like none of these YouTubers who come, I see this one girl, you've probably seen her, she's she made a video saying, am I a LARPer? Because she was talking about how lonely she was and all that. And she's a pretty girl, right? And so she's getting all this love and attention, but she's trying to say that, but she's alone and all that. And then you hear her talking, and she talks about having a boyfriend or having an ex-boyfriend. And it's like, these people don't know what being alone is, And I think people think it's cool to want to be black-pilled or something like that. Being black-pilled or something is not something to be proud of. It's not a gang. It's not some type of initiation. It's for people that have had horrible lives, And some people in this position actually deserve it because they're racist, they're evil, they're parasites, they're cyber stalkers, and they deserve to be in their positions that they are and that they're in. They deserve to be the disgraces to existence and to their families that they are because of the evil that they do. But there's good people in this position as well. There's good hikikomori. There's good NEETs that wouldn't hurt a fly, that just want to mind their business, watch their anime, play their video games, and stay out the way and not bother nobody. There's people like that as well. And some of them are some of the most coolest people you'll ever meet, you know? And now we're kind of seeing like the black pill becoming more mainstream. And you're seeing a lot of people who are saying they're black pilled or whatever, like it's cool. Like, oh, I'm so alone. Oh man, looks maxing. Oh man, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like, what? Like, you guys are just normies that just are trying to be cool. Like, do you think it's okay? You guys want to be black pilled? Try being a 35-year-old homeless man who doesn't have a driver's license, who's ugly, unmarried, with no children, who deals with hearing voices in their head, who's everything that he tried pretty much failed. Things always backfire. He has no family. Everything around him is like daggers and invisible daggers and shadow daggers around him. He has no place to stay. He has to still try to maintain in his brain and still try to keep his only little hope of glimmer alive, you know. And they're not going to think that's cool, are they? They're not going to think it's cool being a grown man who's 28 years old that's a virgin. They don't think that's cool, right? But they want to take the words and the usage. I can't stand people who don't live this black pill life, who don't live this hell, that try to take credit for it, At least give us some damn credit for the shit we survived. This is the all we have. I can't stand somebody who had a mommy and a daddy. They got a car at 16. They grew up rich and successful, and they want to try to act cool. It's like people that grew up in the suburbs and they want to go to the hood because they think it's cool being some gangbanger. It ain't cool being a gangbanger. It ain't cool going to prison. It ain't cool having somebody run up on you and eliminate you. That's not cool when somebody pops a few shells at your chest. And you can't breathe, and then you start to get scared and panic, and then you start to see beings and other type of demons floating around you as you're passing away, and then you get scared, and then every time you take a breath, it's getting harder to breathe, and you're passing away. You can feel your energy and your body leaving. You can feel your soul, and then you get scared. That's the part of gangster stuff they don't talk about. They talk about the victories and catching ops. Yeah, that's when things go right. But as we sing with some rappers, sometimes things can go wrong. And when things go wrong, it's on. So what I'm saying is that people like us who really live this life, who really live the black pill life, who really live it, we are the real rejects of society. We don't fit in with the normie corporate world. We don't fit in. We don't fit in with nobody. We don't fit in with our family. We don't even fit in with friend groups anymore. We don't fit in with anybody but ourselves because we're not going to judge ourselves harshly and destroy ourselves too much. I mean, we may do that, but we're not going to do it to the point where some random stranger is going to make it's just like somebody in your friend group is going to like keep talking crap about you, make you feel even worse. So what I'm saying, young men, is basically all you have is yourself. Don't expect no help. Don't expect no reinforcement. Don't expect nobody to come save you because no one's going to come save you. You're a full grown man. No one's going to come save a grown man. If you're a woman, though, all you got to do is wear a skirt on stream or wear a dress, ask for some donations, and you have people sending you. You probably make thousands of dollars in 10 minutes, or an hour. A couple of hours, you make a few grand, if not more. Because the uncomfortable truth is this. There's millions of simps out there. There's men that are willing to, just so they can have a woman's attention for 10 seconds, even if it's fake. There's like a certain streamer. You guys remember that? What's her name? Belle Delphine? Was it her? I think she sold her bathwater, whatever. And I'm just like, that's crazy. And there's people that bought that. It sold. Like, how is that even legal? But it goes to show you that in a capitalistic, materialistic society, what people want is what they want. But when you have these algorithm platforms that decide whose videos get shown, they decide who gets views, they decide who gets monetized, and then if they do magically monetize you, you're not going to get that many views. So you're basically making nothing. Even if you try to make as many videos as possible, you're still not going to. You're still broke. You still got nothing. So it's all the demiurge, man. It's all about you going as hard as possible, trying your best and getting nothing for it. That's all loose harvesting. That's negative energetic manifestation or frequency harvesting. I don't care what anybody says. I believe there's a wicked entity or something. I don't know what it is. But there's something, an alien, I don't know. There's something that's outside of what we can see that's been manipulating men for thousands, if not millions of billions of years. They've been manipulating stuff that happens on the earth. They've been the cause behind all these wars, the persecutions. They're the cause of all of our problems and emotions. Whoever can take a divine spark and trap it in a human body, you gotta take a bath, you gotta poop, you gotta pee, you gotta throw up, you make it sick. And then for women, every single month, women bleed through their private parts. That's disgusting. Like that's one of my, like, I could watch like back in the days they used to have these websites where you watch like cartel videos or whatever, and those things would be like, okay, it's just like, it's desensitized me. But one thing that never desensitized me is like women's, time of the month. Like, to me, that's so disgusting. It's like, ew. It's like anything that bleeds for more than a week is still walking, is almost a zombie. To me, it's just disgusting in my opinion. It's nasty. And it shows you the demiurge or the god of this world. He could have used water. He could have used anything, or, but blood, ew, you know, you know, it's just, it's so depressing, man. This world could have been a perfect paradise if only we had a good God behind it. We could have had everything we ever wanted in a world like this. Because there's some things in this world that I like. I love raspberry cheesecake. Like, I love cheesecake. I love ice cream. I love pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, peach cobbler, apple cobbler, cinnamon toast crunch, honey nut Cheerios, Lucky Charms, like these, the cinnamon rolls, hamburgers, of course the classic American food. Like, I love barbecue, like I love food, shrimp fried rice, carne asada, chili cheese fries, carne asada burritos, like I love this stuff, loaded nachos, like I love this type of food, man, but despite all those things that I love, the food, it's still, there's times where you may get sick eating the food and then you throw up. And if you've ever been sick throwing up, you know how that feels. That's horrible. Like, there's always something wicked and evil to balance out the goodness in this life. And to me, that's not a perfect heaven. That's not a perfect paradise. That's a hell realm. Having heartburn. Like how you guys ever ate something that had a heartburn that lasted all day? And you're like, damn, what did I eat? And then you look in it, and you look on the can or you look on the bag, and it says contains a bioengineered food ingredient. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is a bioengineered food ingredient in my food? And if I see that on my ice cream or whatever, I don't get it. And then there's another thing. Like, sometimes it doesn't even say ice cream. It says ice cream treat. What the hell is ice cream? What? So you got to make sure the shit says ice cream, and not like ice cream substitute or some crap. And then it has bioengineered food. It's like, I don't want to eat no bioengineered, genetically modified food. Just give me things natural for my body. Give me sustenance for my body. Stop trying to change my DNA. Stop trying to do this weird Illuminati stuff, this chimera play. Like, stop that. I want to be a healthy human. I want peace. I want love. I want tranquility. I want the ability to find a beautiful wife and, live that life that I always dreamed of. But after a certain age, man, it becomes more harder. So young men, man, if there's a girl that's interested in you, go for it. You have nothing to lose, man. It's better to try to fly than never leave the nest at all. Trust me. You don't want to be in a position where you're talented, but your talent never worked out for you. You're talented, but you're easily targeted by parasites, who try to destroy you before you're able to take off and really come into your true self. You're just trying to, like you're still trying to discover yourself as a grown man. But you'll have evil people in your family that will see potential in you, and they'll try their best to sabotage you to make sure that you never make it in order for them to be higher in the hierarchy, in the family hierarchy than you, so they will be treated how you're being treated. There's a lot of evil shit that goes on. There's a lot of social dynamics amongst, humans, There's a lot of social dynamics, that some shit is spoken, some shit's unspoken. I'm just tired of it all, bro. That's why I try to keep to myself and not bother nobody. I try to just keep to myself. Don't bother nobody and just stay out the way and mind my business. I'm just trying to mind my business, man. That's it. Because that's like the best thing to do. Just mind your business, stay out the way. Don't bother nobody. Don't start none. It won't be none. Just mind your business. Leave people alone. You know, like that's my motto. Because you only got one life, and I want to focus my life on things that I can actually control now. And I've lost a lot in my life. I've lost so much over the last couple of years. I lost my family. I lost my sanity. I lost everything, man. And it hurts trying to rebuild. But yeah, man, we got to keep soldiering on, guys. Stay strong. Peace.